Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. All right, let's begin. Krishna Hare Hare. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutpad Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha kalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tvishe Namaha. So yesterday we did 17th chapter, and in the 17th chapter, Bhagwan has categorized faith into three things, okay? All sattvic, rajsik, tamsik, in mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. I hope by now, he started from chapter 14 onwards. So 14, and then he focused on 16, then 17th. By now, I hope you are understanding the concept of Prakriti and the concept of mode of goodness, mode of passion, and mode of ignorance. Bhagwan had made a statement saying that nobody in this world, okay, all the way till Devta Lok, okay, everybody gets affected by these three gunas. That is why when we see Devtas fighting amongst each other, sometimes we see, right, why this is a Devta, why is he fighting? Because Bhagwan said in Gita, all the way till upper planetary systems, these three modes of nature are there. This planetary system, upper planetary system, our earth, and lower planetary systems are all in the influence of this Prakriti, material nature. And this material nature has three guna. Okay? Guna means rope, or guna means qualities. So mode of goodness, mode of ignorance, mode of passion. All these three things are there all the way till the upper planets. Okay. So then Bhagwan went on. Arjuna asked some really good questions that people manufacture their own gods, their own way of worship. How do you define them? So Bhagwan has given clear-cut answers to that. If you are working and if you are worshipping as per the scriptures, then your method of worship is sattvic, in mode of goodness. But there are others also who are worshipping other little lesser gods. Why do they worship other lesser gods? Because they have so many desires. So those who are worshipping yakshas and rakshasas, they are in the Rajsik qualities, that is a mode of passion. And those who are worshipping the demons, the ghosts, the spirits, all this is Tamsik in quality, mode of ignorance. They have to be avoided. So Bhagwan spoke about austerity, also three types. As per the scriptures, whatever austerities you have to follow, you should follow. But if you just trouble your body for nothing, like now I have always given this example of Navratri, I see people trouble their bodies. But the purpose of fast, they have taken only one word, fast. But the actual meaning of the word is steadfast. Even in Hindi, vrat and dridavrat. So what people did, they took away the first part and they kept the last part. Oh, we have to fast. No, we have to be steadfast. Steadfast in what? Steadfast in our devotion. That is the actual meaning of vrata or fasting. Fasting does not mean just trouble yourself. Okay. So eat light that day, eat healthy food, eat sattvic food. We are so accustomed to eating heavy foods every day. We want to eat Rajsik food every day. Okay. So one day in a month, at least twice in a month, just keep your body light. It is good for you, for your health also. It's okay. So nowadays we have come with a new fancy term, intermittent fasting, 12 hours fasting, and then fasting at regular intervals. They came up with all these patterns. So people are very inclined towards those fasting, but this fasting has already been mentioned. We make our body work so hard eating all these foods that the body takes time to digest. So once, in 10 days, not too much. That is Ekadashi. Or if you don't want to follow any Ekadashi or any chart, also doesn't really matter. I'm telling you, we made all these things because our system of study was to combine everything. If you see Ayurveda, if you read Ayurveda, the system of subtle nerve, system of eating, it will be connected to the Tantra. It will be connected to Bhagavad Gita. So our philosophy, Indian Hindu books, our philosophies are interconnected. Now, because we have stopped reading our books, we have gone into Western education. Western education is not like that. We don't get to learn about our subtle nerves, our higher goals in Western education. No. So the sattvic quality of food, it is always encouraged. Bhagwan is saying only one line, but the whole Ayurveda speaks on sattvic quality of food. Our treatments are based on sattvic quality of food. So even in yoga, you go sattvic, tantra, sattvic, everywhere. So this is like a science. We don't, so main thing is give your body a rest at least once a week, once in 10 days. So they chose the 11th day. So if you want to, then they made what? 11th day, join it with some spiritual thing. Then it becomes much easier. People will start connecting. So Ekadashi. Ekadashi means all your 11 senses. 11 senses. Put it on God. Give it rest. Let it be in peace. Let the stomach be in peace. Let the mind be in peace. One day. So if you want to do like that, do like that. Or any other way, But do that because it is always encouraged. It keeps your system, bodily system in good health. That's why. So Bhagwan has spoken about 3 kinds of food: sattvic, rajsik, tamsik. Now again, Bhagwan's style is he doesn't force you for anything. That is Bhagwan's style. Throughout the Gita, he will give you the pros and cons. And then he will say, Yadechesi, tadkuru. Whatever you feel like doing, do. Choice is yours. So he only educates us like a guru. He doesn't say, I'm going to take away your problem. Keep doing whatever nonsense you want to do. I'll keep my hand on you, Arjuna, and all your problem will go away. Even though he's the biggest of guru, he doesn't say. He says, when the war started, he said, I'm not even going to touch the weapon. I will only educate you. I will only give strategies to you. You have to make your own choice. You have to act. If you feel like my education is good enough, then act in that way. And that will be beneficial for you because you are my friend. So as a friend, I will give you a true advice. But if you go in your own way, choice is yours. It may not be beneficial for you. So Gita, when Bhagwan spoke about sattvic, rajsik, tamsik, many times people have not read this shlokas and then they come to me. So should we be leaving onion and garlic? I never say don't leave or eat. I never say. My only thing is, as you progress in sadhana, your body will automatically say, I don't want to eat this, and you will leave it. I experimented with all these qualities. Not with the tamsik, I have not meat or intoxication, but rajsik food and tamsik also I have experimented with fermented foods. I experimented because Bhagwan said, fermented foods are tamsik in quality. So you eat idlis. When you eat idlis, they are so good in the morning. So idlis has to be eaten best in the morning only, breakfast only. If you eat for lunch, my God, it's going to take a lot of time to digest. And dinner is worse. So eat early morning idlis because they are heavy, they are fermented, made from fermented batter. So that quality of fermentation is sometimes good, but that fermentation will also bring sleepiness. So if you eat fermented food, then you will see that within like eat idlis, you will be so thirsty, you want to go sleep, you'll be so lazy. So you should know, okay, this food is tamasic in quality, it is making me lazy, it is making me sleepy, and I feel very, eating too much of carbs, it'll make you sleepy. So that is bringing in the tamasic quality in you. So you have to balance. So we are eating vegetarian food, but we are eating such foods which are making us sleepy and drowsy and like a sloth. Then we must reduce that quantity of that food. We must eat a balanced meal. Got it? Similarly, pickles, fermented. So you have to be eating very less. Pickles we eat very less. Pickles are not eaten like vegetables. But salads, you must first fill your stomach with water and then salads. First thing you must eat that. And then rest of the hunger, you must fill it up with your carbs and protein and whatever you are thinking of. Okay. So when you're on this path, and I'm telling you, only you will realize the importance of these shlokas only when you're doing the sadhana. If you're not doing the sadhana, you will not realize it. Then leaving onion, garlic really doesn't matter. Okay. But when you're sincere in your sadhana, you will see, I have done the experiment, so I know. Leave onion garlic for 6 months. I'll tell you, the food tastes so good. You really will not miss it. In the beginning, you may, in some of the items you will, but not really so much. And do your sadhana. And then again go back to your onion garlic habit and then see what happens internally. Make a note, a diary. I used to do that for my sadhana, every little thing. Being aware of what I'm intaking, with whom I'm sitting, what conversation affected my mind, how my sadhanas got down, what is helping me grow in my sadhana. I started listening to my body. Okay. So listen to your body. In sadhana, this is what it is. Your mind, body, and soul are in unison. They will be together. So your body will accept certain things and body will reject certain things based on your nature. You don't have to force your old habits just because everybody else is eating, so I have to eat. No. For some people, dal may be very good, but for some people, dal is very bad. So go on this path, make healthy choices, and which is good for your health. And Bhagwan has advised us to take wholesome, juicy foods, and those are fresh fruits. Take it in breakfast, take it in lunch, take it for dinner, milk. Lunch, breakfast, dinner, dahi, yogurt, ghee, all these things are good. Salads, greens, all these things are good. Rest of the thing, take it in a balanced way. And if you want to know more, you must read books on Ayurveda and you must read books on yoga. Okay. All right. So Bhagwan's in 17th chapter told us about the food. Then he told us about sacrifices, 3 types of sacrifices. He told us about 3 types of charity. Charity in goodness, charity in mode of passion, and ignorance. Okay. So charity has to be given wholeheartedly, not expecting anything. Then you're in the mode of goodness. But if you give charity to somebody and then expect, oh, that person has to praise me in front of everybody, then that charity is considered in the mode of passion. And if you give charity to wrong people, then that charity is in mode of ignorance. So we learned about the charity, and Bhagwan then said one more thing. It is very difficult for us to keep track of whom I should give charity and not. Bhagwan said, in the past, the Brahmanas used to chant one mantra, that you must chant 2. Om Tat Sat. Om is Bhagwan. Tat means that. Sat means that is ultimate reality. So whatever you do, say Om Tat Sat, surrender it to Bhagwan, then everything is good. If you do not do like this, then everything is asat. Okay. Now, so we learned all these things. And in the end, he said, anything done as a sacrifice, charity, or penance without faith in Bhagwan, in the Supreme, O son of Pritha, is impermanent, and it is called asat, and it is useless both in this life and next. All right. So now we begin chapter 18, the conclusion, perfection of renunciation. Chapter name. You will see that this is the continuation of the same thing, but Arjun. So Now it's time to fight. Bhagwan has given all knowledge. Arjun still, I feel like when I heard this question from Arjun, I was like, okay, he's trying one more time. One more time, maybe Bhagwan will say, okay, Arjun, done. Come on. Don't have to fight. Let's go back. So I think the question that he puts, I felt like that. But it is a very important question for all of us. How we should live in the world. We have learned about Sankhya, Karma, Bhakti, Yoga, all yogas. But what we should do? So what is the final conclusion? So we are going to learn now. Arjuna uvācha sanyāsasya mahābāhō tattvamichChāmi vēditum tyāgasya cha hṛṣīkēśa pṛthakkēśiniṣūdana. Arjuna said, "O mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of sannyasa and the purpose of tyaga." So 2 words he has used, sannyas and tyaag. Sanyas means renounced order of life. Tyaag means renunciation. So please, he's like one more time asking, can you please explain me what you mean? You have been telling me tyaag, 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 tyaag karma phal, tyaag karma phal, tyaag. And then I see the sannyasis also, they have also done some renunciation. So what is exactly the sannyas order of life? They appear as renunciant. And I am not a sannyasi, but I also have to behave like a renunciant then. Tyaga means give up. So tell me what it exactly means. So Bhagwan says, Shri Bhagwan uvācha. Here, but in the first shloka, he has addressed Bhagwan with 2 words, hṛṣīkēśa and philosophies. hṛṣīkēśa, I have explained in the first chapter also, he has used the same word, hṛṣīkēśa, for Bhagwan. hṛṣīkēśa means the one who is the owner of all our senses. That is hṛṣīkēśa, master of all our senses. And he is addressing to hṛṣīkēśa for his mental serenity. And then Arjuna requests him to summarize everything in a way now that he can be equipoised. Yet he has some doubts, and doubts are always compared to demons. So he therefore addresses Krishna as hṛṣīkēśiniṣūdana. Keshi is the most formidable demon who was killed by the Lord. Now Arjuna is expecting from Krishna to kill the demon of doubt. Shri Bhagwan uvācha kāmyānām karmanām nyāsam sannyāsam kavayo viduh sarva karma phalattyāgam prāhusthyāgam vichakshana. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, giving up of activities that are based on material desire is what great learned men call the renounced order of life, sannyasa. So what is it? Giving up of activities based on material desires is sannyasa. And giving up the results of activities. So one is giving up of activities for material desire. So we are living in the world, we have certain material desires. So we chose this path of living in the world to fulfill our material desires. But giving up the results of all activities is what the wise called as tyaga or renunciation. So one first sannyasa means, okay, I am done with this material life. I don't want to keep hankering for everything. I don't want to enjoy anything, any material things. I'm done. I don't want married life. I don't want a spouse. I don't want children. I don't want all these things. I'm done. I'm leaving. I am officially renouncing. I do not want to work like everybody else is doing. I will leave everything and live on by the grace of God. Whatever comes by his own accord, I will accept it. If I don't get it, no worries. But I am not going to get into material activities anymore. So, full stop. Not getting to married life and starting the whole cycle. Sannyasa. He's also done a renunciation. Physically, as it appears, physically he has done renunciation, because Bhagwan when he was explaining karma yoga, he told one thing: do not be a pakhandi, mithyachar. Do not do mithyachar. Like people, oh, I'm becoming a sannyasi, and then they wear the orange garb, and with in the disguise of the garb, they do wrong things because they have not become sannyasi in their head. I have seen sannyasis, I have seen young people sitting as heads of spiritual organization. They never practice sannyas, but the whole world thinks they are sannyasi. So not like that. Don't be a mithyachari. Don't be a hypocrite. Bhagwan has explained that. Bhagwan said instead of doing that, Bhagwan put emphasis on renunciating the results of your activities. Bhagwan said, you are in the world. You do all your activities. But that result that is going to come, don't allow your mind to get carried away by the results. Then while living in the world, you are renouncing everything to Bhagwan. You have decided to get married. You wanted to enjoy, as we say, Shadi ka laddu. You wanted to enjoy this marriage. You made a choice. Now you're in the marriage. Marriage is going good. Great, Bhagwan, thank you. Marriage is going bad. What do? Bhagwan, still thank you. When marriage is going bad, it will push you. Prabhupada writes in his autobiography, in his biography, not autobiography, one of his. So in that, when he married his wife, in the beginning, he was not very happy with her. So he went to his father saying, I'm not very happy. I want to marry again. So father said, it is good that you're not very happy. Don't take your mind here and there now. Now put your mind on God. So that is also a blessing. And he put his mind on God. So his wife, we all know why he got sannyas. He got a sannyas order. He had children and everything with his wife. But then probably that thing was going on in his head all the time. And when the kids grew up, one day, and he found his guru, he started understanding spirituality. One day he returned home. He was translating, he had books of Bhagavad Gita at his home. And he saw that his wife is drinking chai. He started looking for his Bhagavad Gita. And he asked his wife, where is my Bhagavad Gita? She's like, I didn't have the money. So I sold the Bhagavad Gita to make this cup of chai. So I wanted to buy chai. So I just sold away the Bhagavad Gita. Anyways, that was so many books here. So the Bhangarwala came, So in India, there is this thing. We have people who come and they buy your newspapers and everything, and they give you some money. And then, so they take your trash and they give you money. So she said, I just sold it. That was it for Prabhupada. He's like, I'm done. If somebody does not respect Bhagavad Gita, I'm done. I think it's high time I should get into sannyas. And then he took his sannyas order, and then he went to Radha Damodar Mandir and he translated the Bhagavad Gita which we all got. So, blessing in disguise. If you have a good wife, wonderful. Both of you are into, growing together. Even if say one of you is very spiritual, the other one is not so spiritual, but the other one does not bother you. Do whatever you want to do. Wonderful. Enjoy the joys of material life, and at the same time, surrender everything to God. Thank you, God. Under both conditions, if you get good conditions, thank you, God. If you get bad conditions, thank you, God. Learn from Eknath and Tukaram. Eknath had a very supportive wife. Tukaram's wife used to beat him. So, but both were very high quality saints, great saints. So we learn like that. We learn Gita, and whatever has come into our life, that is Bhagwan's prasad, good or bad, we offer it to Bhagwan, and we focus on the purpose of life. And the purpose of life is, whole life is a preparation. Death is examination. At the time of death, you have to remember Shri Krishna. How will you remember Shri Krishna? You will remember Krishna only when you are remembering him throughout your life. So we chose this life, material life, but we renunciate the results, good or bad, Bhagwan, all for you, all to you. We surrender to you. Okay. So here, त्याज्यम दोष वदित्येके कर्म प्राहुर्मनीषिणः यज्ञदान तपः कर्म न त्याजमिति चापरे. Bhagwan says, some learned men declare that all kind of fruitive activities should be given up as faulty, yet other sages maintain that yajna, acts of sacrifice, dana, charity, and penance should never be abandoned. Yajna, dana, tapa should never be abandoned. And Bhagwan says in the 4th shloka, Nishchayam shrunu me tatra tyāge bharata sattama tyago hi purusha vyagra trividha samprakrititah. Bhagwan says, O best of Bharatas, now hear my judgment on this about renunciation. O tiger among men, renunciation is declared in the scriptures to be of 3 kinds. And yajna dana tapak karma na tyajam karyameva tat. Bhagwan is declaring that whatever the wise people have said, you should always continue with your yajna, dana, tap. He says, I second that. In my opinion also, you must always do your yajna, you must do tapasya, and you must do your charity. And in this life that we live, let me tell you, yajna, when we marry, marrying is called vivaha yajna. So we chose, we did the vivaha yajna. Now we have come into this ashram, grihastha ashram. Now whatever tapasya we have to do in this ashram. Tapasya means sometimes we may not like anything. Our mind is all into God. We may not like anything. But we become like what? Humble than the blade of grass and tolerant like a tree. Kirtanaya sadhari. So we did vivaha yajna. We got into grihastha ashram. And taking care of our family is our tapasya. So we have to always do these things. And with all these things, doing charity is very important. When guests come at our home, we earn money. We give to our society back. Money or good words. I've given so many options of dana. Think of it. Even giving your mental good thoughts to people is also dana. Okay, so do that. So Bhagwan says, acts of sacrifices, charity and penance are not to be given up and they must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity and penance purify even the great souls. So here I'll read the purport. The yogis should perform acts for the advancement of human society. There are many purificatory processes for advancing in a human being to spiritual life. The marriage ceremony, for example, is considered to be one of these sacrifices. It is vivaha yajna. Should a sannyasi who is in renounced order of life and who has given up his family relations encourage the marriage ceremony? The Lord says here that any sacrifice which is meant for human welfare should never be given up. So vivaha yajna, understand, listen to the word, very important. Okay. Nowadays we have marriages, but those are not yajnas. Vivaha yajna. Vivaha yajna, the marriage ceremony, is meant to regulate the human mind so that it becomes peaceful for spiritual advancement. For most men, this vivaha yajna should be encouraged even by the persons in renounced order of life. Sannyasi should never associate with women, but that does not mean that one who is in the lower stages of life, a young man, should not accept a wife in the marriage ceremony. Okay, so some people are born sannyasis. They can be without going in family life, but some people need it. So young people, if they should be encouraged for marriage. Nothing wrong in that. Okay. All prescribed sacrifices are meant for achieving the Supreme Lord. Therefore, in the lower stages, they should not be given up. Similarly, charity is for the purification of the heart. If charity is given to suitable persons, as described previously, it leads one to spiritual life. So Bhagwan's opinion is, you must do your yajna You must do your penances. You must do your charities. All these activities, how they should be performed, by now you must know, without any attachment to the results. Good or bad, doesn't matter. All these activities should be performed without attachment or any expectation of results. They should be performed as a matter of duty. This is my duty, I have to do it. As a matter of duty, O son of Pritha, that is my final opinion. So this is Bhagwan's opinion. Do everything as matter of duty. Also, Bhagwan now says, prescribed duty should never be renounced. We chose married life. So we have certain prescribed duties now. We chose to become husband-wife. So we have duties towards each other. We, in this Grihastha ashram, we chose to bring souls as our children. So we cannot, so now it's our prescribed duty to take care of the children, give them the spiritual education as well as the good material education, whatever we can do our best. We cannot shun off. We cannot shy now. We have to do it. So prescribed duties. At the same time, taking care of our old parents. At the same time, taking care of guests, families, whatever we can do. But all of this while we are doing, we should never forget God. For whom are we doing? We are doing it to please Bhagwan. So Bhagwan is the head of your family. Make it like that. Okay. So prescribed duty should never be renounced. If one gives up his prescribed duties because of illusion, such renunciation is said to be in the mode of ignorance. People run away from their homes thinking, I will find God. It's because they read about sannyasa and they're like, okay, life is just an illusion. Maya moh hai, chhod do isko, kya karna hai? And they leave their family and run away thinking, oh, now they are sannyasis. And I have seen the downfall of such people. They are neither sannyasis, they are neither, they can't even return back to their material life. So Bhagwan has never advised us to do this. No abrupt decisions in life. Oh, I'm done with this life, everybody will. No. Read the Gita. Gita is very clear on this. Very, very clear on this. People, many youngsters come to me because they hear all these lectures from renounced sannyasis. And then they get so excited. Oh, what is the point of studying? What is the point of marrying? I want to become a sannyasi. My parents are not understanding. I'm like, really, you want to become a sannyasi? Then you will not come and discuss with me. You will go and tell your parent that day itself, I'm leaving now, I'm done. You don't have the courage. You want to hear a lecture and see lofty dreams. Sannyasis are not like that. They have the courage. But you want to enjoy both the things, but talk about sannyasa. You want to live in a married life and talk about sannyasa. No, that is not what Bhagwan is teaching. If you want to become a sannyasi, tell the whole world. Be bold in that. Go to gurus. Take sannyasa. No problem in that. But if you don't have the courage and you want to be living and following whatever everybody else is doing, then live your life properly. Make a decision in your life. Living in family life and then keep on talking about sannyasa, not possible. What is Bhagwan teaching? Bhagwan is teaching to renunciate the results of all your action. What is he saying? To keep your mind balanced, even when you are in a family life. I have always told you, your family life is Grihastha ashram. Whatever ups and downs are happening, keep your mind balanced. Okay, this is what Bhagwan means. All right. So prescribed duty should never be renounced. If one gives up his prescribed duties because of illusion, such renunciation is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Then anyone who gives up prescribed duties as troublesome or out of fear of bodily discomfort is said to have renounced in the mode of passion. Such action never leads to the elevation of renunciation. This is not renunciation, understand? Renunciation means a renunciate, a sannyasi has great courage because now he is going to live only on the mercy of God. Whatever life he has to live, his mind will not calculate. So anybody, if they got into married life, family life, and then they fear, oh, so much of bodily discomfort, maybe we made a wrong decision, maybe my parents forced into it. Whatever it was, you made a decision. So now, don't leave it till your duties are over. Once your duties are over, the kids have grown up, they're on their own, then you can, at the age 50, which is called vanaprasthashram, then you can tell your parent, your wife, your kids that, okay, I have taken care of you. Now it's my time. I want to be with God. But till then, you cannot run away. Because if you run away in between, leaving everybody, then here Bhagwan says, that is in the mode of passion and mode of ignorance. Okay. O Arjun, when one performs his prescribed duty only because it ought to be done and renounces all material association and all attachment to fruit, his renunciation is said to be in the mode of goodness. So one performs his prescribed duty only because it is ought to be done. All these teachings is for us, okay? And renounces all material association and all attachment to the fruit. His renunciation is said to be in the mode of goodness. Na dveshtiya kushalam karma kushale na anusajjate tyāgi sattva samavishto medāvi chinna samshayaha. The intelligent renouncer, situated in the mode of goodness, neither hateful of inauspicious work nor attached to auspicious work, has no doubts about work. So those who are in mode of goodness, they will work as a matter of duty. Good or bad results, Bhagwan ki ichcha, hṛṣīkēśa. That's how they will be. They don't get perturbed. This is the quality, okay, that you should see in yourself, whether it is developing or not. And that extends everywhere, even in sadhana. Many times I tell people they do sadhana and they're like, okay, I'm doing sadhana, will I see Bhagwan? I'm doing sadhana, will I see Bhagwan? And then they don't see Bhagwan. You know why? Because they are restless. Will I see Bhagwan? Will I see Bhagwan? I'm chanting so much. Will I see Bhagwan? I'm chanting so much. Will I see Bhagwan? My dear, even if you don't chant, if you just practice peacefulness, you will see. But what happens? Your mind is so conditioned to results. Oh, I chanted so much, will Bhagwan come? It's like, I earned so much, will I be able to buy this? Bhagwan cannot be bought, right? Bhagwan has mentioned how you can be with me. While you are in active state, work for me. When you are silent, think of me. You will find me the moment you are sthita pragya, peaceful. So what happens? People are like, they keep a result with the sadhana also. Oh, either it is a materialistic result, and then some of them will be like, no, we are not interested in materialistic result. We want to see Bhagwan. But again, their mind is only counting. Oh, I chanted so many lakhs, but Bhagwan didn't come. I chanted 9 lakh Navad Mantra, Bhagwan Devi didn't come. There was one person, this person chanted 9 lakh Navad Mantra. And every time, he would say, oh, Didi, I'm just chanting it. And I'm chanting it for the pleasure of Mata. I want mother to be happy. I'm like, wonderful, wonderful. I surrender everything to mother. I'm like, wonderful. So he chanted sincerely 9 lakhs. And then after the 9 lakh was done, one day he calls me. Oh, Didi, I just finished everything. I'm like, wonderful. Wonderful. Congratulations. He's like, but I'm thinking, can I tell mother to, give the benefit of 3 lakh mantras to my daughter, give the benefit of 3 lakh mantras to my wife, and then the 3 lakh mantra, the benefit she can give it to me. I am like, but I thought you were surrendering everything to Ma. Every time you said, I am not doing it for myself. You said for her pleasure, I am doing it. So you chanted 9 lakh. Every time you told you are giving it for her pleasure. So you've given everything to her. Then how can you go and tell her, give 3 lakhs to my daughter, give 3 lakhs? Is it like a bank account or what? Yeah, I'll chanted 3 lakh, give it to my daughter. Does it work like that? Give 3 lakh punyas to her, 3 lakh punyas to her, 3 lakh punyas to me. Then where was that surrender then? All this while you are chanting and you're saying, I'm doing it for her. So you're cheating mother or you're cheating yourself. You can't cheat Bhagwan. How can you? On the face, on the mouth, you're saying, I'm surrendering to her. I want her to be very happy. And then in the end, you start doing business with her. This is not how you chant. After all this chanting, your mind has still not surrendered, does not believe that mother will take care of me and my family under all circumstances. You're doing business with her. Oh, 3 lakh, give it to her, 3 lakh, give it to her. This is not love. You want to see mother, you chanted 9 lakh. You wanted to see mother only if you had become nishkam for some time. Only if you have trusted her. People do chant so many times and then, they want to keep imagining. Go beyond all this. Bring your mind to complete peace. Nowhere outside she's there. She's right in here. You have to connect to yourself. Yourself. So, we have chosen this life. We are chanting. We chant and be very truthful to Bhagwan. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim kavitam va jagdish kamayu. I do not desire for anything. He started from there and then in the end he says, O Lord, Ashli Shiva Padratam Pinashtu Mam Adarshtan Marma Hatam Karotu Va Yatha Tatha Vavidadhatu Lampato Prananathas tu Saevana Para. This is the complete surrender Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke. He said, first he said, I do not desire anything, no wealth, no followers, no great knowledge. All I desire is that I have devotion. I have devotion towards your lotus feet in every birth of mine. He's not even asking mukti. If somebody says, I am asking for devotion in every birth, there's no concept of mukti. I want to love you. And love is such a thing that it cannot have an end. How can love, in material world, when a man and a woman marry, they say, oh, 7 janam tumhare saath rahenge, we'll live for 7 lives together. Material, worldly love. Here it is Bhagwan. Divine love. How can love be stopped abruptly? How? Love, when you are in love, you forget everything. You forget everything. Time just goes away like this. If somebody, when you are young, young people, when they talk to their girlfriend, boyfriend, they'll talk the whole night. They'll lose their sleep. And the whole night passes away and then they'll think, oh, we hardly met. That is love. So here this is divine love. How can you say, oh, only this life, God? No, you want to continue talking to him life after life after life after life after. I love you, God, and I want to be with you. So, mam janmani Ishware bhavatad bhakti rahituki tohi. Just give me your bhakti in many lives. What kind of bhakti? Ahituki. I don't want anything. Ahituki means causeless. No hetu. No anything else. No hidden agenda. And his bhakti goes on to this level, Chaitanya, that Shikshakashtaka is such a beautiful prayers. In the end, he says, Ashli Shiva Padaratam. Okay, Bhagwan. Whether you come and whether you embrace me, you allow me to worship your feet, or maybe you have so many people calling you, probably you are very busy. Bhagwan, it really doesn't matter anymore. Maybe you hit me, you kick me out cruelly. Adarshanan marma hatam karotuva. Maybe you never show me your face. And I die without seeing you. But Bhagwan, I'm telling you one thing. Mat prana nathas tuseva napara. You alone, my Lord, are the Lord of my heart. I do not know anything else. So whether you see me, whether you reject me, whether you embrace me, whether you respond me, whether you don't respond me, Who cares? I only know one thing, Lord, I love you, and you are the Lord of my heart. This is love. Now gone beyond everything. Everything. So this is, when you say renounced order, no, this is renounced order. Truly living for God. This is real renounced order. Bhagwan goes to Shloka number 11. We started the 10th. He said, the intelligent renouncer situated in mode of goodness neither hateful of inauspicious work nor attached to auspicious work, has no doubts about the work. So we came from there to the highest renounced order, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said. Not even asking Bhagwan to come. Getting it? That is love. Text 11. It is indeed impossible for an embodied being to give up all activities, but he who renounces the fruits of the action is called one who has truly renounced. So Bhagwan is focusing on renouncing the fruits of the action. For one who is not renounced, the threefold fruits of action, desirable, undesirable, and mixed, accrue after death. But those who are in the renounced order of life have no such result to suffer or enjoy. O mighty armed Arjuna, according to Vedanta, there are 5 causes for the accomplishment of all actions. Now learn this from me. So he has spoken about sannyasa and tyaga. And sannyasa means you are not doing anything material activities anymore. All your activities are for one goal, spiritual goal. And Tyaag means, renunciation means you are in the material world, you are doing material activities, but the results of that, you are surrendering it to God. Okay. Now, Bhagwan says, how does all this work happen? So there are 5 factors to that, everything that is happening in the world. So he says, the place of action, the performer, the various senses, the many different kind of endeavor, and ultimately, the super soul. These are the 5 factors of action. Whatever right or wrong action man performs by body, mind, or speech is caused by these 5 factors. Okay? So the place of action, the performer, the various senses, the many different kind of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul. So, place of action. Say we are in the jungle and some animal tries to attack us. And to protect ourselves, we throw a stone at the animal and the animal dies. So one action happened. Who is the witness? The super soul is the witness. One action happened. We killed some animal. Why? Because we were in a place and the kind of endeavor was to protect ourselves. I performed that action. My senses sensed danger. And something inside the inner voice said, protect yourself, throw this stone. So I protected. So one action happened. Now say I'm a doctor by profession. I am doing an operation. So I'm in a hospital. I'm doing an operation. My intention is to do the right thing. I'm trying to do all the right things, yet that person dies. So I have performed one kind of action. The super soul is witness in that when I killed the animal. The super soul is witness when I did this work. Then I come home. I go to a party. I see people want to eat meat. And they bring a live chicken in front of me. Maybe they give the knife to me. I sacrifice the live chicken. People do that. People bring a chicken and they enjoy sacrificing the chicken. They see how the chicken is begging for life, but they eat it. I also became a part of that eating. The super soul is there. Scene has changed. I am the performer in all these three things. The super soul is always watching me. And I'm performing, I'm eating. Another scene. I'm going somewhere. Somebody robbed me. That person had a knife. I tried to defend myself. He hit me. So I am the performer in so many different situations. Somewhere I kill an animal to save myself. Somewhere I kill an animal, even though there is a lot of things available for me to fill my belly, but I kill that animal because killing that animal is a sport. And then cooking it, we feel powerful or whatever it is, I don't know. Then I am the same doctor. I didn't want to kill this patient, but the patient died. But my intention was right. Then I'm going somewhere else and I get attacked by some man who wanted to kill me and rob me. I got saved. That person's intention was very bad. So at different situations, I have taken different decisions. I am going to suffer the results of all of this, but in a different way. So the place where I was trying to save a soul, but yet the person died, where I was trying to defend myself and yet the animal died. Nature knows my intention, super soul knows my intention. The result of that action will be different than the place where I killed an animal as a sport. In all the places, something was being killed. The intention of the robber who tried to kill me for money, for whatever it is, he will be also, the super soul was with him also. And I was also there. So super soul knows, and the universe will make another arrangement for them to suffer these reactions. So what Bhagwan is saying, 5 things are there because of which an action happens. And because of this, the resultant reaction will also happen. So whatever right or wrong an action a man performs by body, mind, and speech is caused by these 5 factors. Got it? Somewhere I'm a doctor, I'm saving lives. Somewhere I'm being defended, I defend myself. Somewhere I kill an animal. Somewhere I'm being killed by somebody else. Therefore, one who thinks himself the only doer, not considering the 5 factors, is certainly not very intelligent and cannot see things as they are. One who is not motivated by false ego, whose intelligence is not entangled, though he kills men in this world, does not kill, nor is he bound by his actions. Understand, doctor, his intention was not to kill, but yet the patient got killed by him. But intention was not there. So he will not have to suffer those actions. But the robber, his intention is definitely to kill. And he kills me. I also have a knife. I was operating, but the robber also had a knife. He kills me. I also was operating on the stomach of somebody else. That guy also operated on my stomach. But his intentions are bad. His suffering will be different quality. So here Bhagwan is saying, who is not motivated by false ego, whose intelligence is not entangled, although he kills men in this world, does not kill. So same way with the example, ahimsa, Bhagwan has always said, practice non-violence. But when you have to defend yourself and you in the defense, somebody got killed, no, you will not be bound for that action. But you're killing an animal just to satisfy your taste buds, you will be bound by the resultant reaction. Because Arjuna is now going to fight. Understand, Arjuna is not just reading it in his room. They are on the battlefield. After all this coaching, he's going to fight, and so many people will be killed. And who will be killed? His very dear ones are going to be killed. Imagine what will be Arjun's state of mind when he kills his guru. I think that is, for me, of all the scenes, this scene literally terrifies me. To go against the guru, and then I think that is the most terrible sin. And Arjuna is being prepared for that. That your guru's intention and your intention, he's on that other side. Intention matters. You have to defend yourself and your family and the others. He will be also defending himself. But the war, when the time of war came, even though you were his favorite disciple, he chose the side of adharma. Why? Because of his illusion, because of his attachment towards his son, and many other things. So both of you are going to kill. But one who is not motivated by false ego, and this was not there in Arjuna at all. He didn't have ego. He wanted to leave everything. Sannyasa. Give it. Whose intelligence is not entangled, though he kills men in this world, does not kill. Nor is he bound by actions. Knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the knower are the three factors that motivate action. The senses, the work, and the doer are the three constituents of action. So Bhagwan is now telling how actions happen. So that also Bhagwan is explaining as a science. According to the three different modes of material nature, there are three kinds of knowledge, action, and performer of action. Now hear of them from me. The knowledge by which one undivided spiritual nature is seen in all living entities. Though they are divided in innumerable forms, you should understand to be in the mode of goodness. So Bhagwan has taught the science of soul. He said, you are seeing different forms, but none of them will be killed. Only the body is going to die. You're seeing the elephants will die, the horses will die, so many Sainik, so many soldiers will die. Understand, nobody is dying. The bodies are going to die. This is not the fight of people. This is the fight of religion versus irreligion. So this is a fight of religion. The concept is very high. So get into the mode of goodness. That knowledge by which one sees that in every different body, there are different type of living entity, you should understand to be in the mode of passion. And that knowledge by which one is attached to one kind of work as the all in all, without knowledge of the truth, which is very meager, is said to be in the mode of darkness. So the knowledge of common man is always in the mode of darkness or ignorance. One who does not develop knowledge through authorities or scriptural injunctions has knowledge limited to the body. He is not concerned about acting in the terms of the directions of the scripture. For him, God is money, and knowledge means satisfaction of bodily demands. Such knowledge has no connection with the absolute truth. It is more or less like the knowledge of the ordinary animals, the knowledge of eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. Such knowledge is described here as a product of the mode of darkness. In other words, knowledge concerning the spirit soul beyond the body is called as the knowledge in the mode of goodness. Knowledge producing many theories and doctrines by dint of mundane logic and mental speculation is a product of the mode of passion, and knowledge concerned only with keeping the body comfortable is said to be in the mode of ignorance. That action which is regulated and which is performed without attachment, without love or hatred, or without desire for fruitive results is said to be in the mode of action. So Bhagwan now explained three types of knowledge. Now Bhagwan is telling action also. Three types of action. So that action which we are doing it, without any attachment, without love or hatred, we have to do it. He has to fight. No matter how much he loved his guru in the past, but right now the guru is on the other side. So he cannot hate. He is not hating his guru, but he cannot show love right now because he is the enemy. So that action which is performed without love or hatred. Without the desire for fruitive results. Arjuna does not want to win. So he's like, forget about winning and losing. You have to just do this action. It's said to be in the mode of goodness. But action performed with great effort by one seeking to gratify his desires and enacted from the sense of false ego is called action in the mode of passion. The action performed in illusion, in disregard of scriptural injunctions, and without concern for future bondage or for violence and distress caused to others is said to be in the mode of ignorance. So action is also of three types: sattvic, rajsik, and tamsik. So the rajsik is the actions in mode of passion is you want to just gratify your senses. And tamsik actions are you don't even think of the pros and cons. Do whatever you want to do. Right? So those are ignorance. Irresponsible work is carried out in the mode of ignorance. It hurts them and it hurts others also. Now, the performers also are of three types. One who performs his duty without association with the modes of material nature, without false ego, with great determination and enthusiasm, and without wavering in success or failure, is said to be worker in the mode of goodness. Who is a Rajsik worker in the mode of passion? The worker who is attached to work and fruits of work, desiring to enjoy these fruits, and who is greedy, envious, impure, and moved by joy and sorrow, is said to be in the mode of passion. Most of us are in this category. We work for the fruits and we get attached to the fruits. We want to enjoy those fruits. Greed comes in us. We are envious of others' growth. Impure also many times. So all this is in the mode of passion. And the worker who is always engaged against the injunctions of the scripture, who is materialistic, obstinate, cheating, and expert in insulting others, who is lazy, always morose, and procrastinating, is said to be the worker in the mode of ignorance. So workers are also three types. Now, Bhagwan is going to talk about understanding and determination. So these are also three types. O winner of wealth, now please listen as I tell you in detail of the different kinds of understanding and determination according to the three modes of material nature. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha karya karye bhaya bhaye bandham moksham cha yavetti buddhi sapartha satviki. We are on Shloka number 30th. O son of Pritha, that understanding by which one knows what ought to be done and what ought not to be done, what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, what is binding and what is liberating, is in the mode of goodness. O son of Pritha, that understanding which cannot distinguish between religion and irreligion, between action and that should be done and action that is forbidden, is in the mode of passion. Similarly, mode of ignorance. The understanding that considers irreligion to be religion and religion to be irreligion under the spell of illusion and darkness and strives always in the wrong direction, O Partha, such understanding is in the mode of ignorance. Similarly, with determination, Bhagwan describes three types of determination. So everything is in the same mode of goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance. O son of Pritha, what is a determination in mode of goodness? Number one quality. It is unbreakable, which is sustained with steadfastness by yoga practice, and which thus controls the activities of the mind, life and senses, is determination in the mode of goodness. But that determination by which one holds to the fruitive results in religion, economic development, and sense gratification is of the nature of passion, O Arjun. And that determination, which cannot go beyond dreaming. People come, they want to grow spiritually, but they only keep dreaming. But what did Bhagwan say? Bhagwan started, be in the mode of goodness. And what is mode of goodness? Unbreakable determination. You don't give up. You don't give up. And Bhagwan said, be steadfast. So many places he'll say this. Let me read that word one more time. Dhrityāyaya dharyeté mane pranendra kriyaha yogena avyabhicārena dhriti sa partha satviki. He says by yoga and avyabhicharini yoga means being steadfast. You don't allow the mind to go here and there. Sati mati. We have decided to follow this path. Then steadfast. Follow that path. And that determination by which, every day you're dreaming, I will do this, and then I'll achieve that. I'll do that, I'll achieve that, and do nothing. Keep procrastinating. Whole life will pass on like dreaming. And then there is fearfulness. And then there is lamentation. And there is moroseness. And there is an illusion. Such unintelligent determination, O son of Pritha, is in the mode of darkness. So you have to decide what is your determination, what is your understanding, okay? Bhagwan says, now he comes to one sukha, happiness. Bhagwan says, understand for me 3 kinds of happiness. Happiness is also the same. Satvik, Rajsik, Tamsik. So what are those? O best of Bharatas, now please hear from me about the 3 kinds of happiness by which the conditioned soul enjoys and by which sometimes comes to the end of all distress. Yatta dagre vishameva parinamo pariname mritopamam tatsukam satvikam proktam atma buddhi prasadajam. Here he says, what is happiness in mode of goodness? He says that which in the beginning may just be like poison, but at the end is just like nectar, and which awakens one to self-realization is said to be in happiness in the mode of goodness. So when we are on the path of, in the pursuit of self-realization, we have to follow so many things, austerities, regulations, control of mind, and concentrate on the self. It is all very difficult in the beginning. But if you succeed, it only gives you nectar. So this is happiness in the mode of goodness. What is now happiness in the mode of passion? That happiness which is derived from contact of the senses with their objects and which appears like nectar first, but poison at the end, is said to be of the nature of passion. A young man and a young woman meet, and the senses drive the young man to see her, touch her, have sexual intercourse. In the beginning, this may be very pleasing to the senses, but at the end or after some time, it becomes like poison. They are separated or there is a divorce. There is lamentation, there is sorrow. Such happiness is always in the mode of passion. Happiness derived from combination of senses and the sense objects is always a cause of distress and should be avoided by all means. And what is the happiness in the mode of tamas, mode of ignorance? That happiness which is blind to self-realization, which is delusion from the beginning to the end, which arises from sleep, laziness, and illusion, is said to be in the mode of ignorance. And now Bhagwan makes a statement, finally. Na tadasti prithvyam deva divi deveshu va punaha sattvam prakriti jair muktam yadevi yastri tribhir gunaihi. He says, there is no being existing either here or among the higher planetary systems in the Devatas, which is freed from these 3 modes of material nature. So this is existing everywhere. That is why we see Devatas also fighting. Then now Bhagwan goes on for the 4 Varnashrams system that he created, the Brahmana, the Kshatriya, the Vaishyas and the Shudras. Bhagwan says they are distinct by the qualities of their own nature in accordance with the material modes, O chastiser of enemy. What is the nature of a Brahmana? He goes on describing a Brahmana has to have these qualities: peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness. These are the natural qualities by which the Brahmanas work. And what are the natural qualities of Kshatriyas? He says heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, and leadership are natural qualities for Kshatriyas. What is the natural qualities of Vaishyas? Farming, cow protection, and business. And for the Shudras or the laborers, they have a natural tendency to serve others. Okay. So they do that labor work. Those are called Shudras. And Bhagwan now says, Sve sve karmanya abhiratah sansiddhim labate naraha swakarmanirata siddhim yatha vindati tacchuno. Bhagwan now gives us a very sincere advice. He says, whatever is your nature, you must do work according to your nature. So by following his qualities of work, every man will become perfect. Now please hear from me how this can be done. He says, by worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all pervading, a man can attain perfection to performing his own work. And then 47 Shloka, he makes a very important point here. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharma tu anushtita swanushtita svabhavaniyatam karma kurvan prapnoti kilbisham. It is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Duties prescribed according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reactions. So here, if your nature is that of a Brahmana, means you are very spiritual in nature, you like to read books, okay? And if you start behaving like a Kshatriya, then you will be very unhappy. So you are Brahmana by nature, but then somebody says, oh, get into the army. Army will give you money, retirement money, and you will get concessions everywhere. So somebody has given you that, carrot, join army. You are a Brahmana by nature. Army is not meant for you, but you join the army. And that too, in the army, you want to go and fight. You're not of that nature. So it is not good for you. Similarly, somebody who's a fighter who can go on the border and defend the country, you tell him, oh, you leave that. Why are you giving up your life for others? Come, you must study, you must go and preach, you must become a preacher. He will not be happy, he will not be able to do it. Similarly, somebody who knows gardening very well, he's a laborer by nature. He can clean the house very well. He's a laborer by nature. You tell him, oh, don't do this work. This is so local. This is a lowly work. You should study. You can become so and so. He will try his best, but his intelligence is not there. And that is why, countries have to come up with options of reservations. They are not fit to become that, but you give them reservation and you make them that, because the world has changed. We are making people fit into different categories, which they are not even suitable. A person is not naturally inclined to become a doctor. And then there are reservations. Then he gets into the doctor studies through reservations, quota reservations. And then he becomes a doctor. He didn't have the intelligence at the first place, but because he was born in whatever, and then he becomes a doctor. How is he going to treat? Somebody becomes an engineer. He doesn't have the intelligence, but he becomes an engineer. Why? Because if you become an engineer, you will be able to go abroad. So you have placed people in jobs in which they are totally not fit. That is the situation of life today. So Bhagwan is telling here, find out an occupation which suits your nature. So in that occupation, even if you do some mistake, no problem. Now this advice he's giving to Arjuna for one reason. Arjuna, you are a fighter. You belong to a kingly family. And in the end, you come up with a question, what is sannyasa in your head? Are you thinking sannyasa? That is good for the Brahmanas who can Do it. But for you right now, your duty is to protect your family, protect the country, protect religion. That is your nature. You are a leader. You are a born leader. Do not waste your talents. So you have understood everything about sannyasa. What I'm teaching you, work and renounce the results of the action. In this war, fight as a matter of duty. It doesn't matter whether you win or whether you lose. Fight. If you win, you will get all this kingdom. Your family will get all the happiness. If you lose, no problem. You died on this battlefield. The gates of heaven will be open for you. So do not worry. This is the thing he's again trying to stress. It is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Duties prescribed according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reaction. Every endeavor, Bhagwan says, every endeavor is covered by some fault, just as fire is covered by smoke. Therefore, one should not give up the work born of his nature, O son of Kunti, even though he may do some fault in that. One who is self-controlled and unattached and who disregards all material enjoyments can obtain by practice of renunciation the highest perfect stage of freedom from reaction. Siddhim prapto yatha brahma tatha apnoti nibodh me samasena iva kaunteya nishtha jnanasya paraha. O son of Kunti, now learn from me. One who has achieved this perfection can attain to supreme perfectional stage, Brahman, the stage of highest knowledge, by acting in the way I shall now summarize. So now we will just end it up here because time is also over. Next class, probably we will be done with this. Next Thursday we are meeting. So Thursday we will be done with this chapter number 18th, or maybe Friday max. All right. So we did till 50 and then rest we will learn later. Let me just see your comments and then we'll end it up. So Vishwasji writes, pranam to all of you. Vishwasji writes, Shloka number 47-48, questions of aptitude, attitude, and intelligence in terms of reservations of during training, increasing the cognitivism, how far it's correct. Yet, with effort, one can get the desired aptitude, this aptitude for attaining the perfection. Yes, you can get the desired aptitude. If some Bhagwan, understand, Bhagwan's words, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, it is not by birth. Okay. He said, as per your, in the Gita, he has said previously, that I made this Chaturvarna system Guna Karma Vibhagashaha, based on their qualities and based on their work, action. So, Chaturvarna Maya Shrishta Guna Karma Vibhagashaha. Okay. So, if somebody is Brahmana by nature, and same way his action is also the same work. If he is Brahman by nature, his work by nature, then it is very good for him. He'll be very happy there. Not by birth, okay? When we spoke about reservation, what reservations we are doing? The reservations we are doing is by birth. Born in a particular thing, the caste, and then we give them reservations, and then they are trying to get into those jobs which they don't have the aptitude. So many people are becoming engineers, but they don't have the aptitude. But if somebody naturally has an aptitude, again, a Shudra is not by birth, a Vaishya is not by birth, a Brahmana or Kshatriya is not by birth. It's by their quality, it's by their aptitude. Okay, so yes, if somebody has the aptitude, then you teach them. They will very easily pick it up. And if they have the aptitude, say somebody has an aptitude to become an engineer, but now instead of becoming an engineer, his parents force him, no, what will you do becoming an engineer? You must become a CA. He doesn't have the aptitude. Even though he's very smart, maybe his brains are very developed, he may pass, he may crack the CA exams. But whenever he is working in that profession, he will not be happy. I meet so many people. They are naturally gifted for something else, and they are in a profession which they just don't like it. And then they blame their parents, our parents, our society, our this and that. So Bhagwan, when he mentions, he is mentioning all these 4 things as per the qualities. So one must do things what they are naturally good at it. They may not, then he says, there may be some faults. Maybe somebody is very good in art. Very, very good in art. And then you tell that child, no, leave the art. What is art profession going to give you? You must study. And that person is very brilliant. So he's good in art, he's brilliant also. Now that person is goes into text, biotech. He will be doing biotech, he'll be successful there too, probably. But inside his mind, he's not happy. But if he had not taken biotech and if he had done art, maybe he may not make that much money. Or maybe he will make, who knows? But he'll be so happy. So Bhagwan is saying, if you're by your nature, if you're in a profession, which is as per your nature, it may have some fault. It may not be as some other profession, but it will be very beneficial for you. You'll sleep peacefully, you'll sleep happily. Okay. So that is what Bhagwan is focusing on. And that's what I have seen in today's world also. I do not go by caste system, but I see in today's world, I see students, they don't have the aptitude at all. But parents, they force 12th grade comes and then do this exam, do that exam. So many students keep writing to me. They can't discuss with their parents because parents are not ready to listen. They'll close their ears. If they cannot pass those entrance exams, then the parents are like, go abroad. Go abroad. And I'm in my head thinking, poor kids, 18-year-old, 19-year-old kids coming, what pressure they have to go through coming abroad, adjusting to that culture, foreign culture. Then living lonely, isolated lives in the dorms. And then more than that, the parents have taken so much loan, educational loan. It is not educational loan, it is educational tourism loan, I'm telling you. So much loan the parents take. And now this poor kid is in so much pressure. He has to perform because my parents have taken loan. And after getting the education, they still are in pressure. How can they go back to India? Going back to India is probably degradation in the society. I don't know what kind of thinking they are into. I see students, I feel very sad for them. They can really be doing so many good things, but they are being pressured to be in a profession which they are not naturally inclined to. They are intelligent students. Indians are very intelligent, but they are in professions which really put them into natural, very depressive state. So Bhagwan, when he mentioned this statement, I really relate to it. I'm like, yeah, I'm seeing it. The students, I've seen students who would be very good in philosophy. But which parent is going to tell, oh, take philosophy? No. Because being with philosophy, what are you going to do? Somebody is very good in literature. I see in Indian parents, they don't allow their children to explore Indian literature. And I've seen others here, they don't do like that. They're like, if the kid is good in something, give them. Here, people can get into Ivy Leagues based on their sports. If people are good in sports, they can apply in Ivy League and they can get selected for Ivy League. They may have very not so great GPAs, but they're good in sports. Kids will be selected in Ivy Leagues. But in India, I see, oh my God, sports has taken a backseat. A child is very good in sports, but which parents don't allow their children to get into sports? The only thing, so that is what, when Bhagwan said this statement, this is what I'm trying to say. You force kids to get into professions which are just not suitable to them. And that is why so much of, problems and depressions and unhappiness comes along with that. What Bhagwan is saying, if you are natural at something, say, Bhagwan says Shudra. Shudra means somebody who can do a labor work. Somebody is very good in architecture, somebody can only strategize architects, somebody can strategize. So that person is a Brahmana. I always take this example of us building a city. So somebody gave you a land. So some person can only make a diagram. Okay, this land can be built like this. But he cannot go and lay the bricks. So you will need a Shudra for that. You need a labor for that. So labor is also equally important. If somebody is a laborer and if he is naturally very good at laying the bricks, he will come up with great ideas. and make a beautiful thing, more beautiful probably than the person who strategized. So everybody has their own things. Yes, aptitude can be developed, but Bhagwan says, do that work which suits your nature. Then you will be happy. That is what Bhagwan is trying to say. Okay. All right. So aptitude for attaining the perfection. Yes, you can do it. No problems. Karmana jayate vipraha brahma janati brahmana. Exactly. Brahma janati brahmana. All right. So we end it up here and we will see you on Thursday with probably that will be the last session of Gita. Jai Shri Krishna. All your days and nights be Krishnamai. Radhe Radhe. You're welcome.